Hello, and welcome to another episode of Dikuth's Band of Merry Men. We left off on kind of a few interesting points last time with the party just reaching Waterdeep and beginning to explore it after leaving Neverwinter and their young friend Jacob behind. Um, as they explored Waterdeep more, they decided to return to a place that they've been to one time before called the Yawning Portal. An inn built in Waterdeep around a famous well that is a primary route to the Undermountain, what is known as the Undermountain. This establishment is run by a man named Durnon, who had given them advice on an early adventure. After trading some information and exchanging some gold and getting a place to stay for the night, they acquired a second map for a place that they had found marked on another map earlier and was marked in blood similar to this one. A place known as Mastika. And the innkeeper Durnan gave them more information on this place, or what he knew of it, or he had heard of it, rather, as a few of the other members of the group decided to have some drinking and do some carousing and other things like that. Um, Last we left off, our friend Sif decided that he was going to leave for a little while to search for the temple to his now proclaimed god, Tempest. And as he begins and as we pick up, Sif, I'm going to have to actually ask you for an investigation check, please.
12, good sir.
All right. So it takes you probably the better part of 2 hours of exploring and asking around the busy city streets of Waterdeep, going around the large castle district. You finally hear of a place called the House of Heroes. And you hear that many people apparently go to this place, and the current leader, as they call it, was named High Sword Turek Bloodhelm. Yep. Exactly. And as you make your way through the rest of the castle district and into the what is known as the Sea Ward, you come around a few open fields and a few busy streets with large cathedral-like buildings. Excuse me. Before you get to this large open alley streetway that goes around this, to your eyes, ginormous, huge building, unlike anything you've ever seen before. As this temple just kind of towers over you, the streets spread around it, and the district seems kind of to be built around and away from this huge temple. And you notice that in front of it there is this long coffin-shaped field that has assortments of training dummies and other warlike equipment, some siege gear, and other things like that. But as you walk up the stairs to what you believe the House of Heroes is, the door is open, and you enter into this large cathedral-like building that isn't very flourished. It's very uh, the word I'm looking for is leaving my mind. It's very Spartan esque. It has little design and more functionality behind everything. Even the doors you enter through, you notice, are something that can be barred and held shut or used defensively. And as you traverse into the actual building, you notice around that there's very few people here at the moment. But you do see at one end of the room a large half orcan man who is currently in a field dress of chainmail with a sword at his hip and is talking to another half elven man near a small altar. And as you enter, they kind of notice you and bow their heads to you.
Sif will customarily actually take a moment to unlatch and undo his helmet a little bit before putting it off on his under his arm and return the bow forward before moving towards the altar.
And actually, as you're taking off your helmet, you do notice that there is like a little helmet stand near the entrance. And there appears to be two helmets already there.
Oh, and I will most definitely place one there, though kind of hesitant to at first.
Alright.
Then afterward, I'll make my way up to the altar.
Are you approaching the altar or the people at the altar specifically? Or you're just
Um,
approaching as in like a symbolic site?
no, it would actually kind of look like I'm approaching them before I just move right past them to the altar and get on one knee and kind of take like the the respectful like soldieristic setup, his forearm across his knee, his the on the top of his forehead, on the base of his fist, with his other fist on the ground, bared and pressed down, knuckle down.
Alright. And as you approach them, they kind of were going to maybe converse with you, but as they see you move past, they kind of file away and move off out of your vision. And you have the time to yourself.
Or as they kind of file away, I kind of say in like a low tone, "I mean no disrespect, but I've cost too much of it to not give him what's due."
And you hear this very, very low grumble, just, "'Tis no disrespect. Trust me, I understand. A warrior must pay his debts, as all other men must." And you just see him nod the half working figure as he walks away further down a hallway.
After I'm kind of left alone for a moment, after that, I'm gonna actually reach into my breastplate and I'm gonna pull out the chest piece, and I'm actually gonna place it up on the altar a little bit before I'm just gonna kind of drop, put go down into both knees and just kind of place both hands together and just solemnly begin to rest there in silence and think about the past, reminisce.
And as you kneel down there, it seems to you that like all background noise, any noise from the street, from the even open door, and you had noticed that it had been slightly noisy in here. Even the slight breeze seems to all stop as you just are once again filled with in a somewhat like adrenaline spike as you just feel an urge to move forward. And as your memories pass through your mind and these somewhat now twisted abominations of a nightmare that your mind has created, they seem to be all struck down by a flaming sword. And then after a few moments pass and darkness takes over your mind again, you feel a hand on your shoulder kind of gently press.
And I'll actually open my eyes and glance back, paranoia and especially.
And you turn to see the half elven man who had been standing there before. And he kind of looks concerned, his eyebrows knitted. Are you okay?
And Sif will just kind of return his glance back forward towards the chess piece before kind of reaching out and, and taking into his hand and standing up and putting it back into his little pocket before kind of turning to him and saying, "Many debts to pay, and I still need to seek the answers for the questions I don't even know."
Well, may Tempest guide you along your journey and your path then, and may you seek what you're searching and find it.
May he guide your way as well.
And he just kind of bows his head.
Sif will stand up and go retrieve his helm, and then make a leisurely walk on back to the inn, kind of gazing at the wondrous sights of the city of Splendor on his way back.
And yeah, you open the doors of the temple and notice that it is now deeply nighttime. You're unsure at this point, as the streets have kind of cleared, what time it actually is. And we're actually going to jump over back to the rest of the group. I believe that most of you had either gone to bed or were still drinking. However, I do know Kovash you in specificity was looking for, or waiting for, I should say, uh, Sif to return. And as
That
you
is correct.
and as you sit there and wait, 2 hours pass, 3 hours pass, 4 hours pass before Sif finally returns and opens the door to the bedroom of your shared room.
All right, get down on your knees and pray with me, brother.
Right, you can do that yourself.
Seems you were waiting for me, weren't you?
I was just thinking maybe I've been going about this all wrong.
Oh, how so? Sif will actually, start to take off his armor and the such while conversing with you.
It's just this is the first time I've seen a city this big. I mean, he could get all the tribes together. He couldn't do anything to this city. Maybe we don't need to worry about Vortigern.
And to be honest with you, he's not mine to worry about anymore. He was Lord's. If you seek answers, closure for this past that seems to weigh on you, I will do all that I can to help. But I sat and ranked in all the gifts that I could be bestowed, and I did not thank anyone. Barely the one who forged my blade, barely the man who taught me everything I know. And look where it's brought me now. Use me as an example.
But that's just it. I always gave him due thanks for everything he taught me.
Maybe he wasn't the one you should have been giving thanks to. There are some things worth taking pride in yourself. You're a strong warrior, Kovash. Take pride and knowledge in that, and carve what is your name and what you are to be from here on out. Do so without the thought of Vortigern, and he won't control you anymore.
I'll do that. By the way, I knew exactly what I told those idiots downstairs.
What do you mean?
I was laying bait. If one of them came for the sword, they probably know something more about it than we do. Maybe something about where we're going.
And Sif kind of pauses for a moment and thinks it over. And make sure we sleep with our eyes open tonight.
I mean, you gotta be realistic. And that's probably all I'll say. He'll roll over at that point.
All right. Anything else from you, Sif?
No, he'll just get into basic robes, climb into bed, and keep his sword actually underneath the sheet, like along on the side, just hidden from view.
All right. All right. So actually, if I remember correctly, the rest of you are going shopping somewhere else. And specifically, Jeleneth, you are searching for what again?
I am looking for a map maker,
All right. You
or at
can.
least somewhere where I can see like a world atlas.
You can take advantage on an investigation check because you have Katra with you, who has actually been here before.
Hey,
Hey,
All right.
the second one.
So you begin heading actually in the wrong direction at first. You begin heading towards what's known as the trades ward. And Katra kind of looks at you, and Katra, you actually know that the best place would be in the dock ward.
in the dock, you say?
Yeah, the dock ward.
So I would usher us towards that way and be like, "Yo, the best one is the one over by the dock board." They make all the maps for the docks, I assume.
No, you've actually know of a place because you saw it when you guys got here at first.
Yeah.
You saw a place called Serpentil Books and Folios, and it had a picture of a map on its
On its sign.
Thank you. I can never freaking remember that word apparently.
Can you give me that name one more time, please?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually terp it in chat for you.
Terp.
Terp in chat. It's Serpentil, so serpent with a.
as we turned a
ending.
corner onto that street, I actually see the street sign and like, really, Ketro, we're on Book Street.
What?
Well, you
Where's-
actually notice. I'll stand up for Katra here. You look around and you do notice that this is the only one. This is one of two in this area that has it. Most of these have things for warehouses and other things for the docking and shipping industry.
Into the store I go then.
So you guys are all following.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, I am.
So immediately upon entry, you're all kind of just blasted in the face by just an immense amount of smoke, like low hanging incense smoke, and it just makes you immediately cough slightly from the amount that's in the room. And as you look around, you just see wall to wall piles of books and scrolls and weird odds and ends and anything you can imagine that has some sort of paper, writing, or anything thereof that has to do with it. And you look around and it seems to be empty at first.
Hello?
Hello.
Anybody?
And you think,
Anybody?
hold on, I'm coming. And you hear a like paper falling, and then you see a stack slightly move, but you don't see anyone. As out from around the stack comes this small, even maybe 6 inches shorter than your average sized gnome, and they say, hello, welcome to my shop. I am Javril Serpentil. As he takes kind of an extremely, to the point where his long eagle-like nose kind of almost touches the floor of the shop as he takes an elegant bow. And as you look upon him, he's got an interesting hairstyle. It's just this odd, almost puke green color as it's split into a reverse mohawk, and he's got this braided goatee in the same color, and it's starting to gray and whiten around the edges. As he stands back up, you see extremely over the top, elegant robes that slightly hang past his hands, even when he's got his hands held up. And he says, welcome to my shop.
Why, hello there, Jevril. I am Jelenev. We are part of Dikuth's merry band, as I point to the other two. I'm looking for a map.
Well, you've come to the right place. What kind of map? Where are you looking to go? Where are your adventures taking you? You said you're a band of merry men? There's only 2 men.
Yeah,
The other one's
well, it's a work in progress. Um, I'm looking. Do you happen to have a world map? A map of the entire world.
I do have a world map, but it's kind of a personal. I'm working on another world map. They're extremely hard to come by. I'm not gonna lie. Nobody's ever really explored the whole world yet.
Tell us about it.
um, well, would I be able to at least look at it? I'm looking for a place that's not on this continent. I'm looking for another continent.
Do you know the name of the continent?
Yeah, it's called Corvair. Khovaire.
And he kind of, you see him like put his nose on his finger, or his finger on his nose, and he puts it like right where the bridge of the nose starts. It's really weird to see him as he kind of thinks for a moment. Hold on one moment. And he walks back to the way he came, which, as you see, is now like a tunnel that he has like built through books and scrolls and all this sorts of things that leads into a hallway of more piles of books. And you hear him kind of scuffling around back there. And a few minutes go by.
I'll take a look at some of the piles that are currently just around me. I don't want to knock anything over.
All right. Is there anything in particular you're looking for? Because when you begin looking at the books, you see that they're not organized at all.
No, just perusing. But if there's anything that relates to Maztica, that might be of interest.
Ooh. Mastika.
Plot point. Plot point.
Always investigate plot points.
And he comes back after a few minutes, and you see that he's struggling with a large tome, and he kind of sets it up on a stack of a pile right in front of you guys, and he says, I think this is the only thing I have.
Well, what is it?
You
Yeah,
look
what
you
is
look
it?
down on the tome as it was, and it's a large, dusty, kind of wrinkled leather that's being held together by these golden clasps, and each edge has another golden edging to it. And as you look, in elegant writing on the front of the book is Corvair.
Huh.
That's interesting.
It also looks a little too obvious. But, I mean,
Oh,
so
From
far, this
it's
is
a
the
little too
only thing.
obvious. Trust me. And he opens up he opens to like a middle part of the book, and
I want
you
to
both
note
look
that
down, and it's no language you've ever seen before.
I want to note that before he opens the book, like Katra holds his breath and leans away and like braces for impact.
He doesn't notice as he kind of like braces himself as the smoke kind of as he clumps it open, and you just look down, and the symbols don't even make sense to your eyes, and the script is in a weird diagonal pattern.
And how long? How long have you had this book?
Oh, why does it hurt to look at it?
It definitely would feel like it hurts to look at it. Like, if you look at it too long, it starts moving, type of deal, you know? And
Yeah.
and he turns to you and he says, 50 years, maybe?
What language is it?
Beats me.
And the
You've-
whole book is this way?
Yeah, I believe so. I haven't checked every page, but I'm pretty sure.
Does it look? What condition is it in? Like, if you had to say, like, between like well to like well used,
Like,
or like new to well used.
besides the dust and, like, the obvious aging from the 50 plus years, it seems almost perfect condition.
Huh.
I'll wave
You're
my
not- you're
hand
not-
over it and clean the dust off.
All right,
You're
and
not gonna do a weird thing, right? Where you lick it and you guess how old the book is?
Nah, I was thinking about it, but the older things are, the worse they taste. Trust me.
and
Dikuth
yeah.
grabs the book from him and licks it.
Hey! Are you gonna buy that?
This
Yes.
certainly tastes old.
Yeah, and it does taste old. It tastes kind of mildewy and dusty and rotten.
And Katra like slowly nods at Dikuth, like told you.
Yes.
I don't recommend licking that again.
Sorry.
I will buy the book.
Oh,
Um.
sorry. Oh, you'll buy the
no,
book?
that's fine. Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
excellent. Let's see. And you see him kind of disappear again real quick. And he poofs out of a pile of papers and with a large ledger, and he starts paging back. And after about 2 minutes of straight paging through this large ledger, he gets to a spot and he says, you could take it for 22 gold.
Done. That's not bad. We're also looking for a map of Mastika. Do you might have one of those?
Mastika. That's a little bit easier than the first one. Yeah, I have a map of Mastika. Oh, you want a map of Mastika?
Yeah. Does that look back to the other two? Map of Mastika. I mean, we only have the bloodstained one, but we should probably figure out how to get there and then what we should do, how to navigate when we land there.
That sounds like a good idea.
Oh,
I
well,
turn
I
back
could tell
to.
you that if you need. Like, Mastika is near, if I remember correctly, it's near Colan and Lopango. And that one
Are
place,
those words?
and that one place, Chult. A lot of people hate that place.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was that place again?
Chult?
Cholt.
And then the one before that you said between something and some.
They're really fun words, I think. Colan and Lopango.
Catra's only
Ooh.
ever heard of Cholt and has not fond memories of it.
Why did you shoot with a short bow, Katra? Are you shooting him with a short bow?
Well, do you kind of have any kind of like map of like the geography of Maztica near Cholt?
Well, it's a jungle.
I think the best thing you're gonna get is basically how big and some features of it that are general. Cause I'm pretty sure most people go there don't come back alive, and if they do, they're not really sane anymore.
I mean, landmarks is a good place to start. I mean, we're looking for a place over there, and I think landmarks would be a nice way to direct or navigate ourselves. And sit and like and Jenna just like raises up her shoulders like, I mean, we have nowhere else to start, so might as well start there, right?
Yeah, let me go find it. If it's something that helps, maybe you'll take it.
Guys, this place is crazy. Like, I don't know what this book is. This guy's got maps of everything. Like, if there's anything, do you think we should get something for Jacob when we come back?
We should totally get something for Jacob for when we come back. But this time, let's not like let it be something that he can eventually use to set things on fire with. I feel like that's setting a bad precedence for a kid.
I mean, I was fine with him having the book. I just didn't want him to have it by himself and accidentally set something on fire. I wanted him to have it with supervision.
What kid doesn't like fire?
Exactly.
I just want to
I
make sure
mean, we
Saul's
got him a
watching
gift
him.
he loves.
Wait, does anybody know of anybody who knows how to get to Mastika?
Ketra,
I
there's a
mean, if we get a map, won't we know how to get Smith?
I mean, yeah, but do you know how to sail a boat?
the problem isn't getting to
I do not.
Mastika. The problem is getting to where we want to get to on Mastika. There's an entire wharf out there of people who probably know how to get there. What we need to do is how to get from where we land in Mastika to this shrine. It's just
We
shrine,
just need
right?
we just need something that can fly.
So you want an airship?
Flying sounds terrifying.
I mean, an airship sounds. Can we steal one of those?
Do we need to steal?
I mean, do you ever need to steal anything?
Okay.
No, we don't need to steal an airship. But like, we could totally find like a flying something. Like, I don't know, they exist, right? I can fly, so other things can be able to fly, right?
mean, your logic sounds solid, but
All right. So he brings out and he says, "Actually, I found two of them, but I don't know if any of them are helpful. As a side note, I'll work on getting these all fixed up for you guys for on stream because one of them needs some work to get rid of some of the information that they won't have because it's
Does he know anywhere
none
we
of
can
these
get
maps
anything
are
that flies?
provided. What? What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Does he know anywhere we can get anything that flies?
Are you asking him?
I am asking him.
Don't know. No flies. No.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know anything that you could fly on.
Not even like, I don't know, anything?
Uh,
maybe we should just stick to
not a
books.
lot of things fly, my man.
Uh, I'll let it. Let's agree to disagree.
Okay, I mean there are skyships, but they're so freaking rare. Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at the maps.
Ah,
I was thinking about stealing an airship, but again, unnecessary.
oh, I mean, if you're gonna do that, I don't know anything about it.
Nah, I'll probably just get a boat
But
to
if you do
Mastika.
get one, I would love to fly on it, and I'd gladly pay you to fly on it.
I'll definitely keep you in mind for when we get one, and catch you a wink.
Well, do you know how much a ship costs?
No, but do you know how much a ship costs?
Yes, a lot. And then if you add another 500,000 gold pieces on it, you might get a flying airship.
Well, what if you had to like quantify that, quantify a lot into a number? What would you say the exact number would?
A buttload.
I'm not a ship maker, so I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure that sailing ships are really expensive. They can be like 10,000 gold.
I see. So long-term goals, got it.
Yeah,
Question:
that's what you want.
do both of these maps look to be the same place
Yes.
in same condition? So he got us two maps of this.
One
essentially the
seems to
same thing.
be the I'll tell you the linked version. That one seems to be like further out. It seems to have more included around it, including other islands.
When are both of them or either of them said to have been created?
What?
The maps?
Oh, I have no idea.
They don't just like put these things down in a little corner like where I study at. These things they just tag them down in in a little left-hand corner.
I've been collecting things for years, and that's a pretty great idea, actually. It'd be a lot more helpful.
That way you know where things come from.
But then I guess I kind of also lose a job, though, because it's kind of my job to figure those things out.
You don't lose the job. You figure it out and then you tag it and then you charge people to know what the tag is.
But I'll say that those maps are probably at least 100 years old.
We'll take that into consideration. I want you to keep that business model though, okay?
Always.
I'll purchase both of these maps.
Excellent. 200 gold.
What?
Yeah, their maps are super hard and super expensive.
and not this book that I just bought off you that no one can read?
No one can read it, so no one wants it.
How about because I'm buying the pair, 150?
You can give me a persuasion check.
Can I assist?
Too late.
Sure, I'll give you the advantage on that roll, but even still, 180.
All right, 180. So 180 for the maps, 22 go for the book. So that's 202 goes total.
Yep.
And done.
As he takes the gold kind of greedily from your hands, the robes slip back for the first time, and his old little hands grab it as he hands over the two scrolls, two map scrolls, and the book to you.
Awesome. We should probably get containers to keep these maps in so they don't get wet.
Well, you do notice that they are in a map case.
Oh, good. I didn't know if that came in with the cost.
Oh yeah,
That's
I
why I was
got
upset.
you. No. I always treat my customers well. Ooh, excuse me.
Well, Jevro, it's been a good half hour so far. You know, we might be back.
Well,
If
go ahead.
we go to Maztica and we survive, we're gonna come back and I'll tell you all about it.
Well, you go ahead and do that, and you bring me any books, any odds, any ends that you don't want that you think are still interesting, and I'll take them right off your hands, and I'll try to sell them, and I'll get good money off them probably, and I'll give you a good deal, and you'll probably get good money off of it too, and we'll see how it goes, and maybe
Whoa.
later on then we'll
Calm
make a
down.
deal.
Oh boy.
You know, I really make
That was a lot.
I love contract deals where we can keep working together as a partner deal, and you know it just keeps going, and it makes great money that way.
Do we get a discount at your store?
Yeah, if you keep coming back and we make this kind of deal, and you keep spreading the word and getting people to come here.
You know what? I do have some relatively okay map making skills. I could make a map of our journey in Maztica.
And you see
And
his eyebrow
back.
instantly shoot up, this big, bushy, caterpillar-like eyebrow. Oh, don't even get me started on that. I love map-making process. Oh, if you could do that, I would pay you so much more money. And to get a detailed map of Maztica, it would be like unlike anything anybody's ever seen before. I don't even think anybody survived the trip back from here to there, from anywhere in the world to Maztica.
You know what else we could do? We could get a whole bunch of other stuff and run a specialty night, and then like it would be only stuff from Azteca, and you would have to pay extra money for it.
Oh man, this guy's got great business ideas. We gotta keep him around.
Yeah, I try.
All right.
All right.
Well, Jeffro, we got to get going. We got to get ready for this trip so that way we can keep this deal
Well,
going.
good luck, and please return. I hope you guys return. Nobody's ever returned before. Have I said that before? Nobody's really ever returned before, and it seems like a dangerous place.
Yeah,
But from
you're
what I
making it
hear, it's
hard to
pretty.
wanna go.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I think you guys can do it. You look pretty strong. And did you say you had more people? Because you said Dick's band of merry men, and there's only 2 guys, and
Good day.
all right, have a good day. Safe trip. Good luck. See you later.
And we leave very quickly.
Bye.
Oh boy.
He was a bit much. I mean,
Yeah, I don't.
was he?
I mean, I love the opportunity to make money, but I don't want to deal with him ever again.
Oh, we can assign someone to do that too.
All right. So we got our maps of Maztica that we should probably compare to our map.
And Jonathan, I don't think it would be that expensive to start.
To assign an archivist?
Well, I mean, we assign one of us as an archivist, and then we make notes on it, and then
Ooh, me.
Oh.
and then we apply our notes to like maps and stuff, and then we sell our notes or access to our notes. It could be like a library, something, or like a museum.
So we would stop traveling.
No, we would still travel. We would have a museum front.
A traveling museum.
No, the museum would have a stable location. We would just fuel the museum.
Uh I mean,
Like a museum.
like there are people who study, in universities for these type of skills, I believe.
I'm one of them.
So, so you're saying that you should be the dedicated archivist who would
No,
create
nope,
labels and
nope.
then charge people.
That's a lot of work.
All right. Well, we should probably get to studying then, I guess, huh? Unless
Yeah,
there's something
let's
else you
head.
guys want to look at.
Should probably head back to the inn and link up with everyone.
Unless, do you want to hit up a magic shop?
Do I ever? I always want to hit up a magic shop.
Yeah.
Let's find ourselves a magic shop. We are in the trade ward, aren't we?
No, we're in
No,
the
we
dock.
were. We're in the dock ward now.
We can go back to the trade ward.
I'll misnavigate us back to the trade ward.
I hate all of you.
All right. All right. Give me 1 second.
You know what we didn't get was a map of
The city?
this city.
I was just thinking that.
Who needs a map when all these friendly people are around? You can just hassle them for that.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
and then wait for them to cut out your throat and steal all your chain.
Out of character, I'm looking at a map of Waterdeep, and there is a place called the League of Basket Makers and Wicket Workers,
Yep.
Oh
an
no.
actual guild house for basket weaving. That's amazing.
All right. So you search around after returning to the trade ward after spending about 2 hours to get to the trade ward, and you realize that there's nowhere around here that seems to sell any sort of magical wares. But you're eventually pointed back in the direction of the North Ward to a place called the Tirelessly Turning Wheel.
Ooh,
The
that's like an
tirelessly
hour
turning
walk.
wheel.
Yes. And you realize that by the time you get there, it'll be well after dinner.
Yeah,
After
that's
what?
after sundown. It's an hour long walk. Uh, let's just go back to the Yawning Portal.
All right. So you
Wait, the
may.
place's name was the tirelessly turning wheel.
Yep.
The wheel turns ever on and on.
All right. And you guys take about it's about 45 minutes just to get to back to where you guys were at the Yawning Portal. And none of your comrades are downstairs as you enter the inn, which has now become more busy as the day has progressed. The inn is filled with an interesting, to say the least, assortment of people. Once again, ranging from all races, um, sizes, varieties of class, such as wealthy nobility, all the way down to what appears to be a beggar. Is there anything you guys would specifically like to do?
Uh, we should probably compare the map upstairs, away from prying eyes.
Yeah, whose room do we want to go to?
Is Kovash still upstairs?
I mean, he was up there when we left. I don't know, unless he came down, but he doesn't really like do stuff like that.
Like walking downstairs.
Well, I meant like going places on his own. He's more of a kind of like a I'm gonna sit here until we're doing something type of.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do you think you want to look? You want to look at maps?
Probably. He seems like not to put this in not to make this sound bad, but he seems like simply entertained. So
Kovash would probably blow his nose on them.
Damn.
yeah, he definitely would understand the importance of them, right? I'm willing to trust him at least once.
I mean, he should know where we're going if we're planning to go to Mastika.
Yeah, I'm willing to trust him this once. Let's go.
Sure, let's go find him.
All right. You guys head upstairs to the second floor, where you guys were given 3 rooms near the back corner. And you head and you knock on Kovash's door. Kovash, we're gonna go ahead and rewind here a little bit.
Okay.
This is
So this is Sif returning.
Yeah, pre-conversation. You're just sitting in your room waiting for him to return. It's about like 3.5 hours into this. 3 hours and 45 minutes of waiting still. And you
I'm
hear a
gonna
knock
sort
on your
of
door.
drag my sword on the ground in my right hand and use my left hand to open the door.
And before you see the Three Stooges, can I say that? Probably not.
Hey, Kovash. As I look at the sword that he's dragging on the ground.
Oh no, like the sword is like behind the door.
Oh, I thought you were dragging the right hand, opening the left hand. Oh,
Yeah, so like that
I
the
misinterpreted
sword
the door.
is behind the door. I don't know which way the door opens. I would have done it with either hand that it would have worked and made sense.
Okay, I misinterpreted that. Hey, so we got maps, to Mestika, and we now need to figure out where on these maps that our map match to, so we can figure out where we're going. You want to help with that?
All right.
I mean, if you want, you can probably just laugh at us as we make stupid mistakes.
That's what I plan to do.
I mean, Kovash grins and then he's like, "I just don't know much about maps."
We can teach you. That's a good skill to know.
So,
All right, come on in. And it's at this point that he like takes the sword and tosses it on one of the beds.
All right.
not going to
The one
question
that
it.
Sif sleeps.
This is
Um.
before I got back.
So yeah. So the and Catchell will like move over to any table that is like left or out or in the room if there.
Yeah, there's like a small side table with a burned out candle that has 2 chairs next to it. It's seen better days, definitely.
Dikuth pulls out his 2 halves of the.
And yeah, as you guys pull out all the maps and begin looking through them, you do see quite a few commonalities, and they look very similar in a lot of aspects. They all seem to have their own perspectives, though, and so that kind of throws you off, as each one has its own artistic style and uh, their interpretation of what they saw or what they heard.
Okay.
I would.
Hey,
What?
Jelineth, can I see that funky book of yours?
Yeah, sure. Take a look at it as I look at this map.
I would
Heather-
explain.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I would explain to Kovash that about like cardinal directions and like how to tell like where north is and like
Right.
where
I know where north is.
on a map
I've
though.
just never used maps. They seem stupid.
Okay, so I want to try and line up the torn map to the maps we got and see what is the closest city, or at least figure out what section of Mastika is it in. Is it in Payet? Is it near the Pazalek area or something?
Um, 1 second, Jonathan. I'm sorry. Uh, are you actually trying to teach him Caltro?
Yeah.
All right. So
I want
Oh
to
boy.
if you're
clarify,
actually
like,
trying to like learn how to use a map, Kovash, you can give me an
I want to
intelligence check.
clarify. Kovash is proficient in survival.
Right.
I like
Eh,
directions, getting around. He understands all of this.
well, all right. If you don't feel like learning, you don't have to learn. He's just. He was just saying that he would teach you if you wanted to learn.
Yeah.
What was your question again, Jellenith? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out like which area of Mastika does the torn map match closest with? Is it like the far Payet area? Is it nearby Colon or Lapango? Is it near the Pazalek and New area? Basically, is it like the southern midsection, and then what is like the closest city close to this red X that's on the map that we're trying to get to?
From what you get, of what, or after you take a moment of looking, actually give me an intelligence check. So I also want to point out that anything that's smaller than like the red specific words is not there. I should have said that beforehand. Um,
So I wouldn't have the name of the different islands like New Payet or Far Payet or anything
no,
like
no,
that.
no. That you have, but stuff like
Yeah.
Matil and Maxall are not there.
Okay. But like major
But
cities should be
you
on there,
you
like the docking cities.
figure out you figure well this is a rough map. This is something more. This is like a total map content. I have to take away stuff is what I meant. There's too much information on this map for you.
Okay.
But basically what you get is that Mastika. 1 second.
You cut out on me. I didn't
Oh,
hear anything.
yeah.
Okay, it's
Mastika.
not just me. I wasn't sure if I was having connection issues.
Sorry.
Still not hearing you.
Yeah, I'm not saying it. 1 second, please.
Ah, okay.
Gosh, have some patience.
As you did you shit, my bad. Oh, as you look closer, you begin studying for a little bit, and you realize that it's kind of confusing, but most of these seem to be a part of Mastika and are just regions of Mastika. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So I will have okay. So I would have. So based on what I can match that similar to the map, I can come up with an idea of where we should try to land or try
Yeah,
to approach.
definitely.
Okay. That's basically what I'm trying to get. Like, do I know how? Can I basically figure out where we land? Oh, if we land somewhere, like probably at one of a docking city or
Basically, it
some
looks
village.
like the X is marked somewhere around the Pelincal Mountains.
Great, more mountains. Where on this map is the Pelican Mountains?
If you want to go over to the stream, actually, I'll show you. Let me know when you're there.
Yep, on the stream.
All right. It looks like the X seems to be right here somewhere. Does that help?
Stream hasn't changed
Oh.
yet. Still don't see it.
I had to pause and unpause the stream for it to refresh real quick.
Oh, there we go. Didn't realize it was paused. Okay, which area? Ah, that's really hard. Yeah, okay.
And the
I was
X
having
That's
is,
trouble reading
about what
that.
I figured.
and the X seems to be right
figured.
there.
Okay. Yeah, I was having troubles reading anything on that map besides the big
No, I
golden
get it. I
letters.
get it. I get it. That's why I said I apologize. I have to work on getting them set.
All right. So we have an idea where we need to go.
All right. And anything else that you guys would like to do?
Dikuth is casting Ritual Identify on the.
Correct. I apologize. Um,
Oh, right. You can do that.
there seems to be nothing magical about this book. And
I
as
tried,
you
Joe.
kind of delve into your spell further, it seems to be like a blockage. Like as you kind of open yourself up as you normally would to receive the information that you normally would get, there just seems to be a blockage of a flow.
Book's
What'd you
useless.
get out of
Throw
it?
it out. Throw the whole book away. No, I can't make heads or tails of this book. Usually my magic lets me delve into the deepest secrets of it, but I can't get anywhere with this thing. This is not. It's just.
So you're useless right now?
That's mean, Katja.
That is pretty mean, Katra.
Sometime the truths hurt.
I mean,
Dikuth goes and pouts in the corner.
it's okay, JKF. It's okay.
I mean, it's not a bad thing. We can't all be useful all the time anyway.
What's that word for like angry sulking?
Being a teenager?
Glowering. Kovac has already just kind of been glowering off in a corner by himself.
I take the book and I'm like, all right, I'm going to bed now, guys.
Yeah, I'm heading back over to my room too.
I guess I know how to kill a party. Oh, I will also head to bed.
Alright.
So
So-
as part of my going to bed routine, I'll spend some time trying to just like skim through the book to see if anything makes sense, whether that's pictures or drawings or anything, or any kind of text. And then because I am an elf, I only need to transfer for 4 hours,
Right.
and then
See,
I can spend the other 4 hours going back to the book.
go ahead and give me another intelligence check.
Come on, roll 20.
Probably not.
And
Hey, look, the first roll was better.
as you spend
Never happens like that
Who said the
before.
first time?
and as you spend the next 2.5 hours paging through, carefully looking out through everything, you notice that there are no pictures, there are no any sort of art other than this odd language. And B, nothing looks familiar at all, and from what you can see, everything seems to be in this language.
That sucked.
And as you kind of sigh with disappointment and realize that it's going to be a little bit longer before you find anything, you kind of begin entering your meditative trance, and take your long rest for the evening. And as they leave your room, Kovash, it's about 20 minutes later before Sif enters, and you guys have your conversation, and then have your night of rest, and you all take your long rest, and for most of you, enjoy a good night of sleep, not on the sea, for those of you who didn't enjoy that, and wake up refreshed early in the morning, and the day is yours.
Kovash puts on his skirt and straps his sword to his back and is ready for whatever.
Sif takes some time to go over his books and notes and prepares which tales of valor he will memorize for the day.
Catra puts on his traveling clothes, which are very um, they're like loose on him, so they kind of they're kind of like a bit flowy.
I will put on my armor and everything. Put on my one single gauntlet on my left arm. Do a few practice swings with my scimitar just to make sure it doesn't feel too weird. Um,
Feels pretty good. Feels like it's got a good weight. You might have to train with it a little bit longer to have as much as like a stronger impact, but you think it won't overall have a feeling on your fighting style.
I mean, it's just a little protection. I don't
Right.
actually expect it to change anything AC wise. Um, and then bracelet on the right arm so I can pull it out, and then I'm all good to go.
Nice. Nice.
I will also cast Mage Armor on myself
All right. All right.
and
Dikuth
bracelet on my
preps his
left.
half plate armor, readies up his shield and satyr spike, and gets.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. So as you all kind of around the same time exit your rooms and head downstairs, you do notice that compared to lunchtime and dinner, the Wailing Tavern, the Yawning Portal Inn has very few people in this early in the morning. Most of them seem to be people who stayed here or slept in the inn overnight, or were knocked out at some point in some bar fight. And as you guys get your breakfast, you are handed this interesting looking fish that seems to have been baked completely through, but it does seem to have very sharp teeth. And you're also handed a glass of ale, and your breakfast is served.
Kovash eats the fish, teeth and all.
Oh,
Catra will eat the fish but leave the head.
all right.
I will pick through the fish and avoid any of the sharp objects.
Um, as you guys eat the fish, it's fantastic. It's cooked perfectly. It's moist, buttery. It seems to just fall off the bones as you begin picking at it, and it just goes well with this very dark ale that they seem to have given you with. That it has a brown, cloudy, bubbling appearance. It leaves a light, bitter aftertaste, not strong, kind of like coffee though.
Ah, a good stout.
And it matches well with the fish. A good breakfast, something you haven't had in a very long time. Probably since the celebration. So at least a good couple of weeks.
So,
I
guys,
haven't eaten that good since Dennis' mom cooked us food.
Oh, and Kovesh, the teeth are and bones are probably very hard to get past and swallow, but you do, and they taste okay.
all right, guys. So, what are we doing today? So, we know where we need to go from Azteca. Do you want to head up from Azteca today?
I was gonna say, what are we doing today?
Well, I was hoping to seek and perhaps commission armor set to be made, but I doubt it'll be done in time before for us to leave. So, in the
I
meantime,
mean, are
in the
we in
mean,
a huge rush for some reason?
not necessarily,
We just
but
found a map, right? Like, we don't have a reason to go do this.
Not really.
I mean, have you ever ignored a map that you found in the bottom of a cave?
Ask him how often he finds a map at the bottom of a cave.
That one.
well, with
I
all
mean,
due
to be
respect, Kovash, I seek to conquer Tomoa-chan for or Tomoa-kan, and Sif is visibly kind of stuck on the words for a second as he just kind of gets stuck there for a second before he just Tomoa-chan. I intend to conquer it for Tempest. Damn it!
Right, that's cool and all, but there's not like do this by the end of the week or a dragon's gonna come eat you or something, right?
I don't
No,
think so. Also, is this gonna be like one of those one times where you told us that you died but you really didn't? Like you're gonna conquer this place but you're really not?
Can we talk about that? What do you mean conquer?
But really not.
well,
like, what
correct
if
me if
we
I'm
went to just
wrong.
go make friends?
Then
Right, I'm trying not to kill people anymore.
unfortunately, the last time I watched one of you guys try and make friends with big beasts we usually find in these places, Dikuth nearly lost his life, and I had to heal some acid burns.
Hey,
No,
that
no,
dragon just
no.
didn't want to listen.
Right, I'm
He
pretty sure
wasn't
there's a
very
difference.
Also, those troglodytes who weren't gonna come after us came
They were
after us.
troglodytes. They were gonna come after us regardless because they only have a 2 and
I mean, Katra, that's what I said, that they were going to come after us. But that's the whole
oh.
point that I'm
Right,
trying to make.
Sif. That was in a dungeon, in a cave, in an abandoned fortress. You're talking about an entire country, bud.
And Jelnath shot one of their babies.
Oh yeah, Jelnus did shoot one of their babies. Good job.
Yes,
That
very
was an
conquering.
accident.
So,
Right.
can
Not
we just
So what
have
I'm
an
purposely.
saying,
informal rule that we don't shoot any more babies?
They were
Here,
troglodytes.
here.
It was an accident.
I mean, what if it's like a baby dragon?
And it's trying to eat you.
Right.
How about we get off the
Uh,
topic of killing children and get back to the whole original question you had, Kovash? And yes, no, I do seek to do this. And no, Katra, I actually do intend to do something on this. It's the path that's ahead of us now, unless you guys want to go find something else.
That was
I don't
never
see.
on. That was never in question. The point was, you said we don't have time to get your armor, but we don't have a time to be
I
there.
said we may not have time to wait for the full length of commission, a full plate of full set of plate mail, custom made, and all the other such. Not made like the normal brandished ones that you see most often on orcs and the such, like in the caverns. Actually,
well,
it
here's
may
an
take a
idea.
little bit.
Why don't we just go find a blacksmith and see what happens?
At any rate, I was still just going to say I only seek to begin the commission today, though it might not be ready in
And
time.
we're walking.
Where are you? Oh,
To the blacksmith.
Dikuth has already begun walking.
which
Before
blacksmith?
before we go, Sif's gonna double check with Durnan if he's behind the counter he would be able where he'd be able to find Barkskin Bronzebeard again.
Yeah, it's called. Yeah, as he's sitting there, kind of just eating his own breakfast. I remember the name now. It's called the Busy Hammer. You're gonna find the trades ward.
Busy Hammer Tradesboard. Thank you again, sir.
No problem.
And we'll then come back to the group and convey that out and say, I'm looking for the busy hammer. It's in the trades ward.
Is that a brothel?
Heh. Huh.
No, it's a blacksmith. I hope.
But
What
you
if
would
it's
be
both?
that would be a awesome brothel blacksmith. Though I can't imagine anyone who'd want to run a brothel next to the sounds of a blacksmith or
Or what
vice
if it's
versa.
just like
Sif
naked
starts to
ladies
head
hammering?
towards the trades ward.
Kovash
Yeah, no,
follows.
just nope, not gonna follow up with that conversation.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. All right, so you guys begin the relatively more short journey to the northern end of the trades ward, and you guys see that near this large park that is in it's called yep the caravan court. You see this large, open, grassy park with trees and many small, like fenced-in areas. And as you get closer, you get towards this squat, long building that kind of takes up the area of three buildings. However, it's just very wide and long, not very high. And you hear the familiar clanging of metal on metal.
So it's definitely a blacksmith.
Sif is actually going to kind of just very slowly just kind of wipe the front of the helmet like, oh, thank God it's not a blacksmith brothel mix. Before moving on through the doors and entering in and taking a look at this establishment.
As you enter, the doors open, very relatively easy, and the room is immediately much more brighter on the inside than even during the day on the outside. As you see immediately upon entry, 7 large blacksmith areas all going at the same time, with multiple people working at each anvil, forge, everything. It seems that they all seem to be doing their own work, producing orders, and making a lot of good looking equipment from what you can see. As you turn to the left, and you do see several extremely well made but also beautiful sets of armor that all seem to have their own separate designs. You see one that on the chest piece there is this large like eagle head that seems to be coming out, and it's sculpted into the armor that it adds like an element of more defense on the front of the breastplate, along with multiple engravings and gorgeous line work with gold, silver, platinum all over the place. You're immediately kind of impressed by this.
Does any of the work strike familiar? Not necessarily like have I seen it before, but more so like any of the craftsmanship tells or the such that as I'm looking over all these.
Give me a history check.
21.
It does seem very familiar in just how the artistic design is put on each piece of equipment to a lot of the dwarf work that you used to work with.
Ooh, okay. Mm. Sif, after taking a little bit to literally look at all these pieces, run his fingers on some of the engravings a little bit, is going to look around for someone to talk to. See if there's a man behind the counter, or if not, inquire with one of the blacksmiths who are least busy.
As you kind of start walking into the room, you do see that this very stout, very beefy, very muscular dwarf with the fiery orange mane and bushy as to match beard notices you on entry, and he seemed to have been pointing out some work that someone else was working on, maybe some sort of flaw or something. As he sees you, he walks over and hails you immediately and says, "Oh, hiya! How do you do?"
It's good
Oh,
to meet
boy.
you, sir. Are you Voxkin?
Ah, I am, and good to hear a good pronunciation of it.
Well, it helps that I was trained in Dwarvish by some very fine dwarves up in the north, in the Mithril Keep, actually.
No, the place of my ancestors. Good to hear. Good to hear. What can I do for you?
Well, actually, I inquired you directly because I'm looking for, well, a close friend of mine. Uh, he's the one who forged most of my weaponries and arms a long time ago. I had heard from him that he had family down here in the city of Splendor. Your name's the only one that I could really pick up on. Tell
Uh,
me, are you at all having any close or maybe partially close relatives working in the mountains, specifically the keep?
I mean, all dwarves are pretty much related if you ask any of us. However, most of my family comes from there, so you're gonna have to be more specific, laddie.
Yeah. Well, perhaps I might as well get to the right core of it then instead. I seek to have armor crafted, and I wish to commission something more properly fitting for my stature.
Aye, well, you've definitely come to the right place. Did you have anything in mind?
Yes, actually, and he's gonna take this time to reach into his pack and pull out the tatters of somewhat dried dragon hide, and place it forward before kind of looking around and saying, "Do you have charcoal or quill I could write with for a moment? I can show you what I have planned for
Aye,
the
sure.
helmet."
And he turns and he says, "Grannon, get over here." And you see this small, like very young, obviously very young, dwarven lad, maybe half the man's height, no beard, big nose, ruddy red cheeks, and he's also got a very pudgy belly. And he kind of runs over. Aye, Dad. Ah, give me some paper and something to write with. Go, off with you. And the kid takes off and comes back a few minutes later with the items that were requested, and he gives them to you.
And Sif's no artist, so he does as best as he can, but he kind of does what he can to best. I'll send you a picture actually. Kind of draw out like a two-eyed helmet with horns along the side. Not too profound, but just kind of jutting up a little bit. And then kind of explains that he wants to take the tatters of the leather, tan them, and do what he can to put them at the weak points, or if not enough of the long back skirt of the helmet. One sec. Looking like a Dees.
I could do that. That seems pretty simple, no?
It is rather simple, but the intention is to add upon it as my adventures continue.
I mean, I could easily make that, but I could also easily make that plus more. I could make it a much more beautiful, useful set of armor.
Aye. Then explain to me what you'd change on it. I'd like to hear what the craftsman's take on it is.
Let me take a look at you. Stand up at your fullest height.
And Sif will take his helmet off finally and kind of put it off to the side before standing at the full stature, just in the armor, just under 7 feet.
Now give us a twirl.
And he begins like moving your limbs and even moving some of your armor pieces and equipment as he begins like taking measurements and looking at like weird spots that maybe because of how you were bent upon entering or whatever. He just seems to be manhandling you as he gets a bunch of his measurements and seems to be muttering. You know Dwarvish, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you just hear basically numbers being muttered as his son next to him is writing them down. Give me a few days. I'm gonna take a look at this. I'll take this drawing you made, and maybe I can make something gorgeous out of two of our interpretations. No?
I look forward to it, my good sir, and will offer a hand to shake.
Aye, and he grabs your wrist as a fellow warrior, and you feel the strength in his arms. I look forward. Can I find you anywhere?
You should be able to find us easily enough at the Yawning Portal, but I can come and inquire in a few days.
All right, if I'm done before, I'll send my boy ahead.
I look forward to seeing him.
Excellent.
Good day, sir.
Good day. And as you leave, the rest of your group follows, unless any of you needed anything.
Nope.
All
I
right.
think this would be a good time to take a break.
I get everything I
I'm
needed.
good.
All right. So with that, if everybody wants, we'll take a break at the moment. Go ahead and do what you need to do, and we'll meet. Let's just say, because it's 9:20. Let's just say 9:40 right now.
Sounds like a
If
plan.
everyone's back before then,
Sounds good.
then we'll start it up. Thank you all for those of you who have joined us so far. I love it. I hope that you guys will join us when we come back, and we'll be back soon. All right, and welcome back to Dickest Band of Merry Men. Um, we just took a short break, and last we left off, the group had done a bit of shopping and looking around and exploring the city of Splendor. Splendor. The city of Splendor. They had just met a relative to the Bronzebeard clan at the Busy Hammer. And as they leave, they are now discussing what they are going to do next and what is it that you guys would like to do next?
It might be more shopping.
Yeah, Sif's gonna let everyone know that the armor is gonna be a few days. I can inquire and figure out in a few days. Otherwise, the little boy will come check it out soon. So if we're not in a rush, maybe while we're shopping, find something to pass the time for the next couple days. Maybe something simple, an easy job.
I look at Kovash, and something tells me in his eyes that he wants to go down the well.
Yes.
Oh my
Something,
God! Yes.
something will tell
but
you in your brain that he wants to go on it. Well, I've already
but
told him that I can make him fly.
but we need to be ready. We should go like by magic or something to make us strong. That's how it works, right?
Kovash, I don't really think you
No.
can go out and buy magic.
I mean,
I mean,
we
my sword is
can.
magic. Theoretically, I could sell it to you.
I mean, magical items, sure, but not like you can't just trade magic like it's a thing.
I mean, didn't Elzan buy those? Didn't we buy those scrolls of magic? No, didn't Elzan buy scrolls of magic from the guy you blew up?
Oh, I forgot
Yeah, you
about
want to know something funny about
scrolls.
that?
What?
We actually
They bought
we
the
were
scrolls back at a higher price.
They bought Elzan scrolls back. The
At a
scroll
higher
that
price.
they gave to Jacob was one of Elzan's scrolls that he sold to the shopkeep.
Jelliff doesn't know that.
I just told you.
Were you there when he purchased it?
I sure was. I also said, but I think my mic was muted because I was like, "Are you guys really gonna buy that scroll after we sold it to him?" But
So
no
there you
one.
go, Dikuth. You can buy magic.
Right. Shouldn't we like go buy magic if we're gonna go down the well into the next thing?
I don't think we should go down the well.
Well, it. Well. But if if we're going to go to this jungle, at any rate, it still would be best that we make sure that we're prepared. Um, the best thing to think of right now is that we would need to come figure out what it is that we're searching for. I think it would be most helpful if we were to find something that could help us carry a large number of things. So that way, me and Dikuth aren't jingling the entire time.
All right. Well, we found a magic place yesterday. We can go there then, I guess.
Yeah, but it's all the way across town.
Oops.
Yes, but the sun is up there, and it's
Out
not
of character, I
across
don't
the
think
horizon.
it is. It's in the trade ward, which is where the blacksmith was.
No, the magic shop is in the North Ward. It's called the Tireless Wheel.
Because the wheel doesn't get tired. Get it?
No.
I knew you wouldn't. That's why I pointed it out.
So where are you going? You said you want to go to the tireless turning wheel?
We're going to the Tireless Turning.
Alright. And it's actually closer Um, you're actually closer to the north ward than you were yesterday. And as you travel for around
Yeah.
20 minutes to cross one of the bridges to get into the north ward, you guys are met um, by. One second. You guys are jumping all over the place. You guys are met by the kind of the noble, uh, moneyed area of Waterdeep. It's the home of the nobility and these large villas. There's not a lot of hustle and bustle around here as many of the other areas that you've maybe come across. And it seems to be more of just a living area for richer people. However, as you guys do make your way through the rest of the North Ward to the far end near the Field Ward and Sea Ward corner, you all find a small building that seems to barely fit into the area around it. It has a large I can't think. Is the wheel that for the grain?
Mill.
Yeah,
A
the
mill.
it has a large like mill wheel, uh, drawn or painted onto the sign, and the building is a small, two-story kind of roughly thrown together building that seems to be leaning to one side. And you assume that this is the tirelessly turning wheel.
Where's the wheel?
Seems like the tirelessly leaning house to me.
And I step
Good
forward
one,
and knock on the
Kodash.
door.
Uh, you hear someone say, "Oh, do come in. It's
And I
open."
do. I enter.
And you step into the nice smell of lavender. Not strong, but it seems to just gently permeate through the air. And as you step in, you look around, and you are just met with a vast assortment of curios and oddities and things you've never seen of. A sword that's got an interesting hook on the end. You see several little
Sif is looking at the hook.
odd dolls. You
Is it
see,
a hook sword?
you see a plant that seems to slowly move by itself. And as you look around, you do see a small, older female woman, human woman, kind of just sitting, and she seemed to have just set a book down on the counter that she's sitting at. Hello, what can I do for you?
We want to buy some magic.
Well, I suppose you've come to the right shop. I have several things that do have magic. That tree right there is magic in and of itself. Is there anything specifically you're looking for?
Wait, did you say a tree? Because I have a magical tree too.
Oh, really? Yeah, and she walks over near to where you're standing, Dikuth, and she gently runs her fingers through like the branches and the leaves of this small, what reminiscent of like a bonsai tree? Is that what they're called? The small
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bonsai.
bonsai.
The meditative tree.
Yeah, reminiscent of that with several like, additional branches, and as she like touches it, it seems to like purr up against her. The leaves like shake and lean into her.
Oh, I don't think my tree does that. I think it's just a tree.
That's creepy.
It's quite all right. I think it's somewhat living creature. It seems to enjoy it. It doesn't.
You're
really...
touching it and you're not sure.
How would you go about figuring out?
After months and months of distant studies.
I have done months and months of distance studies.
But you're touching it.
Is there anything I can help you with?
Yes. Sorry about that, madam. Madam.
Oh, Genevieve.
That is a lovely name.
Why, thank you.
We are looking for something to help us carry stuff. We seem to constantly be overburdened with things. So something that'll help us carry stuff would be nice.
Oh, and what about that drinky thing you gave us that made us heal?
Well, I just sold my last handy haversack. I don't think I could help you with that first problem. And heal? You mean something like a healing potion?
Sure.
Those things.
I don't carry any of those. I apologize. It's not my speciality.
Do you know who does?
Let me see here a moment. I think Dalianthas might have some. That's about all I know, though.
Ooh, you're gonna have to type that one out.
Maybe Dialantha.
Okay, and what shop would that be?
Silanthos.
Oh, just Atalanta's.
She's right down the road, actually. You'll find her shop is called Herbs and Exotic Plants.
So, you wouldn't happen to have any like magical cloaks or bracelets or rings or necklaces or clothes?
I do have a magical ring.
Ooh, what does it do?
If you give me one moment, I'll go and retrieve it for you. And she returns from going to a small drawer and pulling out a chest and going through a couple of boxes inside the chest. She pulls it out, and she brings over a small. It's interesting. It's a small ring that seems to have like the keyring effect going on, and at one point, the one end begins into a small jade hummingbird. And she pulls it out and she says, "So if you're in danger, say something is coming at you and you have to jump out of the way, this will help you get out of the way."
What
How
do
would
you
you categorize
mean?
it?
I don't. It's a magical item. It makes you faster if you need to get out of the way.
Oh, you said it helped you get out of the way. That's what I meant. Like, did it make you like teleport or move really quick? Or
No,
now
it
you
just
answered that question.
if you need to move faster, or if there's like some sort of effect that makes you have to dive out of the way or take cover or something like that, it'll make you better at that.
How much are you looking for it?
She goes back to the counter and begins tracing her finger down the list. I'll take 600 gold for it.
Who? Surely we could come to a agreement that's a little bit lower.
How much lower?
All I've got is 50 gold, boo.
And she takes the ring back and begins putting it back in the box.
I mean, that's not entirely true, but that's a lot of gold for not really knowing specifically what it does. Would you mind if our friend looked at it for a moment?
What do you mean, looked at it?
Well, he can like tell what things do.
I can as well. And I've just told you what it does.
Do we want the ring, guys?
Nah.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
It's not worth
I
it.
guess we'll thank you for your information, and I will put a few gold pieces on the table.
Thank you. You have a wonderful day.
You as
That number
well.
was 8.
Alright.
Wait, are you giving her 8 of my gold?
It's my gold too.
That you gave away.
Look, we just wasted like 10 minutes of this woman's time just to not buy anything.
I have a question. Can you enchant stuff?
Who are you asking this question?
Oh, I was asking Genevieve.
I can, yes.
Can you enchant something to return back to you once it has been thrown?
I don't think I've ever had that request. I might have to talk to someone, but I'm sure it's within my capabilities.
Okay, because I might have a potential commission.
Okay. That's good to hear.
Yeah, so you see here on my right hand, or my right wrist here? Do you know what this is?
Let's see what she does.
I pop out the dagger.
Oh, no, I had no idea.
I was wondering if it'd be possible to, like, if I were to throw this dagger, and have it come back to me.
Like I said, I'd have to talk to a fellow worker of the arts and see what he knows, and we'd have to corroborate a little bit, and then I would get back to you. But like I said, I'm sure it's easily within my realm of capability.
Okay. Well, we have to be in this. You have to stay in the city for the next couple of days, so I guess we can come back. I guess I can come back tomorrow and see if that's a thing that's possible.
That's perfectly reasonable and acceptable.
All right. Thank you, Genevieve. Thank you for your time.
And you said your name was?
Oh, I am Jeleneth.
Ah, it was
And
a
I
pleasure, Jeleneth.
I do like one of those like deep bows where like I bow down, my left arm or my right arm goes all the way up to the right, and my left arm comes down underneath my chest.
Yeah.
You mean you dab?
No. I do
Alright,
not
sorry
dab.
everyone. The game is ended. I'm banning Steven for life.
Oh boy. Dikuth, do you want to look for anything?
I have all sorts of things. I don't necessarily have magical arms or armaments like you're talking, but I do have the ring. And, she begins looking down the ledger.
Any fun magical items you have?
Fun. What is your opinion of fun?
well, things to like things that can like make you climb like crazy, or like walking on water, or I don't know, things that can like make people smile endlessly.
um, I do have a. All right. I do have a coin that whenever it flips, it always lands on heads. I don't know if that's helpful. Um, I have a monocle that when you're wearing it, you are better able to find information and things that you're looking for pertinent to what you're searching for.
Ooh,
That sounds useful.
that sounds amazing.
I can locate things, but I don't think I can locate things I've never seen before.
So you like the scholar's monocle?
Yeah, that sounds really
All right.
interesting.
So she goes to a separate drawer and she pulls it out, and it's like a small like watch glass case basically. And you see this exquisitely gold rimmed monocle with a gold chain attached to it.
Ooh, that is fancy.
That is only 200 gold.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting.
I do also have a book that when you read it, it summons a cat.
What
type
kind
of
of cat?
Oh boy.
Like
Oh, no.
like a house cat.
Ooh.
We do not need
Like,
pets.
what is the disposition of the cat? Is it a friendly cat?
It loves to be
Does it say
patted, but it doesn't. So when you read the book, the tome opens itself, and then the cat lays on the tome and does nothing else.
wait, what?
So
Guys,
like a
can we
real
get
cat,
this cat book?
So it's not a real cat though.
but
I
it acts like a real
mean,
cat. Oh
we
man.
are Dickiest band of merry men, are we not?
What
Wait,
could be merrier than a lazy cat?
I'm trying to figure out if this cat like does anything else other than just lay there.
To be fair,
I
it's
don't
better than a
think
book that
so.
blows.
You
I'm-
said you don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure the last time I checked, as soon as it left the book, it disappeared.
Hmm.
Like, is it a physical cat?
Yes.
Oh,
Wait, it summons an actual cat
Yes.
But when it
that like
leaves the books, it just disappears.
I know, right?
That's so strange.
guys, this sounds amazing. This
I
is like the
almost
best
think we
prank.
should get the
How
book.
much do you want for the book?
I also
Oh,
have an
man.
amazing instrument. If you're ever interested in any type of instruments,
Forget the cat, guy.
Wait. We're talking about the kitty book, the kitty kitty meow meow book. How much is the kitty kitty meow
I'm
meow
willing
book?
to let it go for 20 gold at
Sif
most.
slaps 20 gold down immediately.
Oh man.
The full 7 foot tall man in full armor, stern, cold looking face, a helmet and underarm, just immediately slap.
Oh, here, you can have it. And she hands the book over.
The cat woman.
Okay, so this instrument you say you have.
Yes.
Yes, now
So-
you've piqued my interest.
Watch this. And she leaves the room. And for a moment, you hear some shuffling and some, damn it. And then you
Capture
hear,
side eyes, Sif.
you hear this horrible
What'd you say?
wailing, just grating, loud tune just start echoing from the back as what looks to be like some bag with several rods attached to it floats out in midair as it begins to compress and make this noise. And then as soon as it stops like playing, she reappears with the instrument wrapped around her.
That sound is unholy.
I know. But it turns you invisible, which I don't get because everyone can hear what you're playing.
That makes no sense.
I know.
What?
Welcome to the tirelessly turning wheel.
Wow.
So if someone happened to be playing it, and I summoned the cat and had them sit on this man's head, they would think the cat is releasing music.
Would you
Oh
be
my
able to
God.
balance the book on his head? Because the cat has to stay on the book.
I'm
We have
pretty
some
sure,
very flat head.
ma'am, we are Dikuth's band of merry men. I'm sure Dikuth himself can balance more than a book on his head.
Oh,
I
I'm
cannot
sorry. I didn't know I was in the presence of such merry men.
Yeah, we
Kovash
try to brag.
grins.
Kovash grins.
Yeah.
Ah, and what did you say, Katra?
We try not to brag.
So, is any are any of these interesting? I don't know exactly what you're.
Well, if I ever hear anyone play those again, I might want to go onto a murderous rampage. So I'm gonna pass on those and point to the bagpipes.
I'll take that.
I'm sorry. Could you say that again, Kotra? That was the DM speaking. She doesn't know your name.
Oh, I'm passing on the bagpipes.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I think they're interesting and fun. That's why I have them. That's why I have most of these things.
Well, I mean, say
When
were
do you
to
ever need
get rid of
bagpipes that'll
those
turn you invisible?
musical monstrosities. What would you part with them?
I'd say probably 175 gold. 75 gold. I'd take it for.
Are you gonna buy it? Dikuth. Dikuth.
I will buy them.
Oh
Sorry,
my
I just
god.
had to think really hard.
No worries.
It was so suspenseful.
I could show you some of my other ones, but yes, 75 gold for that.
But you have other.
Dikuth slaps it on the
I
cock.
mean, you are in the House of Kyrios. You know that, right? I have many
Yeah,
different
noticed-
things.
I noticed the sign also said Caravan Curios from All Far Faerun.
Oh yes, all over.
I am interested in an instrument. I just would like one that sounds better than that.
Ooh, a hand organ. Do you have a hand organ?
I have regular instruments that are just. I have them because of their beauty. Are you looking for? You said a hand organ?
Ketro, you'd be really good at the hand organ.
I disagree. I was just. I mean,
I don't
like
think
one
I have a
special, but
hand
if
organ per se.
if it's not a magical item, I would be more than fine with a regular one.
A regular hand organ?
No.
What?
Do you have?
I have
a-
several lutes. I have a set of drums. I have some sort of it's some sort of wind instrument. I'm not entirely sure what it's called. It doesn't. It comes from across the seas.
Let
From
me
where?
look at this wind instrument.
It comes from a place called Chult.
I will take it.
Wait, you just gonna
Okay.
take it?
Well, sure. I will see what I'm taking first.
All right. You, it's just a forewarning. They said it was an instrument. I don't know if I consider it an instrument.
Oh
Um,
dear.
and she goes back and she brings out this long, what seems to be long bone like structure with several holes through it. And the end part of the bone that seems like it would have connected to another bone has been shaped into a skull, and the mouth is open, and it seems to be where the end of the instrument is.
Like a very metal flute.
Do you know what a Aztecan death flute is?
Not even a
I
little bit.
do.
All right. So basically, it's like that, but in extended form. But yeah, it's like a super metal looking flute from your perspective. If metal were a thing in Forgotten Realms.
I will totally I will totally take this flute.
All right. I got it from a traveling salesman. He picked it up. Let's do. Are you willing to do 30 gold for it?
Can we do 25?
Give me a persuasion check.
We've done a lot of business with you today.
Right?
You can take advantage. I'll let that go with advantage then. All right.
Hey, nat
That's
20.
You know what?
that's per-
You're right.
that's
How about
perception,
I
not
give it
persuasion.
to you for?
Wait, that is true. That is persuasion or
Oh.
perception, not
So
persuasion.
it's higher.
So it is
Yeah, I
higher.
mean, technically, you still get the natural 20.
Yeah.
It'd
Um,
be +5.
how about I give it to you for 15 gold? You're so right. You spent a lot of money today. I value you as customers. Thank you. 15 seem alright?
Definitely. And I'll give her 18.
You guys can come back any day.
Real quick before we go, you said this Dylantha sells potions and specializes in those. Is there someone that like specializes in like magical weapons and robes and things like that?
That's not really my knowledge area, but you'd probably have a better bet asking around some of the armories or blacksmiths or.
The place we just came.
No rest for the wicked.
That was in character, by the way.
I'm
I said no rest
sorry.
for the wicked.
I don't even know really how to use a weapon, so I don't see a point in collecting them.
That's fine. I'll pay 200 for the monocles. And then
Oh,
I
okay.
also have another question.
All right.
Do you Are you fluent in many languages?
I would say I'm fluent in a few.
I pull out the book and ask her if she recognizes the
Ooh.
language inside of the book.
Oof, careful, Iggy. That's gonna make your brain.
And she looks
And the
over
book
it,
blows up.
and she looks over it, and she kind of pages through it, and you hear, how interesting.
Huh? Huh?
Is your brain hurt yet?
I've never seen anything like this before. And you see her eyes kind of go blue for a second as she casts a spell on herself. And
Yes, that's what I was
as she looks at the book, you watch that the blue in her eyes that seems to be floating in front of her eyes detaches and like begins a small blue fire on the pages of the book. And she's like, huh, and she immediately prestidigitates it out of existence, and the fire disappears, and the book looks unharmed, and she looks panicked and just, I've
I
never
told
seen
you.
anything like this before.
So what is it?
I have no idea.
A book patch.
None of my magic seemed to work. And when I tried to read the language, it seemed to set the book on fire.
Were you able to potentially ascertain what language it was?
I was basically light blinded when I looked at it. You understand?
Wait, did I just hear right? Did the book start on fire?
The page started, but it's unharmed.
Blue
Yeah,
fire.
you saw this blue fire like attached to the book.
Why does every book we show a shopkeep in this campaign start on fire?
At least this one didn't blow up.
Huh.
Technically, the
Okay.
last one exploded.
Maybe it's cursed.
I've never seen anything like that, but I would assume, I would think alien in nature, something from the out of far realms.
Out of the far realms?
Aye.
What is considered the far realms?
So there are certain creatures in this existence. Have you ever heard of a beholder?
No.
Well, there's these things called aberrations, and sometimes they tear their way into our world, and
Sounds scary.
they come from planes outside of the known planes that we know of.
Definitely scary.
Huh.
I'm
Okay.
trying to think of anything. It's not really common to see an aberration. That's why it's probably none of you know or have ever met one.
So.
What do they look like?
Well, they can range from anything. They're monstrosities with unconventional morphologies. They don't fit in this world. So think like, for example, do you know what a drow is?
Yeah,
Right.
not really.
The dark elf.
Yes,
Oh,
very
sure.
good, very good, excellent. If they do something in their world, if they do something that their god is not necessarily happy with, they'll transform them into this spider creature, and it's called a drider. And what a drider is it has the torso of a male or female dark elf, and the rest of their body is a spider.
I'm aware.
That is considered an aberration. Beholders are these levitating giant sacks of flesh, basically, with one
No way.
giant eye that, if it stares at you or anything in its area that it stares at, all magic ceases to exist.
No way.
And
That sounds awesome.
along its body
No, it
are all
doesn't.
these tentacles, and at the end of the tentacles are more eyes.
That's awesome.
And each eye has another ray it can cast something at you. And I believe last time someone recorded it, they were able to record that it does have something called a death ray.
Sounds fun.
If your
Okay.
idea of the most painful way to go out of this existence is fun, then sure, yes, fun.
Much less awesome.
Okay. So then, what do I do with this book?
I. Um.
Keep it.
What
I
if
mean,
you
I'm
want?
keeping
Do
the
you
book.
want to buy it?
No, we're not selling the book.
I mean, I would be actually interested in buying it.
How much?
It's not for sale.
It's not.
Will
for
give me a
sale.
price.
It's not.
for sale.
5,000 million.
Or
That's the
Kovac.
number, right?
I don't have that
Kovac.
much. I apologize.
Guys, that's a lot of gold. We can buy a ship.
Some things are just not for sale.
This may be the only copy of this book on this plane. of
Jelenith,
existence.
I think you might have to reach out to people who aren't ordinary citizens. Maybe find the hoppers. Maybe find the hop elves. Some sort of wizarding family. Some sort of wizarding. I have no idea. Maybe religion is the way to go in this nature. This is far out of my realm of knowledge.
Candlekeep?
What about Candlekeep?
Does Candlekeep sound like a smart place to go with this book?
It's probably one of the best places to go.
Alright, we'll add that back onto the list.
Back onto the list.
Yeah, I took it off the list at one point because I thought, we're not going to go down there anytime soon. But,
Where's Candlekeep?
You have an
South of
actual
Daggerford.
list, Jill?
Candlekeep is in the Western Heartlands.
Oh, that's so far away.
Is that part of this city?
Not even a little bit.
No.
The Western Heartlands are by like where Baldur's Gate is, Eltegard, Fort Morning Lord. You know, areas like that.
By
Right.
Daggerford.
It's south of Baldur's Gate, so
That's like a month of travel, isn't it?
it's pretty far.
Yeah, so like I took it off the list for a bit. Just because we kind of weren't going down that area anymore. But figure wherever I wanted to go. But now that I have this book and that happened, we might need to actually go to Candlekeep.
Well, I hope you stay safe. I hear it's pretty crazy down there.
Don't say it. Okay.
What?
Whenever I'm like, let's go do something, someone always says something to like discourage us from doing it because I'm like, I'm ready up my mind to go do it. Don't discourage us from doing it.
Yes, just be careful because the Yuan-Ti and lizard folk have become kind of a problem.
Hootie?
I believe it's pronounced Yuan-Ti. Yuan-Ti.
Yuan-Ti.
Yuan-Ti. Actually, is
Okay.
how I just found out.
And they are what exactly or who?
Yuan-Tis are like a lizard folk.
Get out.
It's more snake than anything, I think. I have never seen one in real life, but from what
So
I
they
know,
wouldn't be running like a brothel.
excuse me.
They wouldn't be running like a brothel. I don't have to be worried about accidentally sleeping with one.
Are you going to sleep with a snake person?
No.
Then I don't think you have to be worried.
Exactly what I said.
All right.
Thank you.
We don't
Jeremy.
judge around these parts.
I'm not judging.
I'm-
I'm just really confused.
I'm just going to cut this conversation at the head.
All right.
Thank you,
So it was just-
Genevieve.
Sif is just back there petting the cat.
Bye.
Oh.
It's
Thank you,
great
Genevieve.
conversating with you.
Did you read
I'll
the
come back
book?
tomorrow. Oh, Sif?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sif is literally when this
'Cause
entire
you-
conversation just started, started trying to read the book and check it out.
Yeah, you actually have to fully, like, you can't just open it. You have to fully read the book.
Oh, okay. Well, he just
And
started to read a little bit of it.
it's a story. From what you get at the beginning, it's got a few pages to it, but it seems that a kitten has lost its way.
Oh, is this a kitten that got trapped in a book? That's so sad.
Are you
Hold on.
continuing the story?
I mean, if everyone's finishing up here,
Yeah,
probably
you
not.
look up and everybody seems to be finishing up.
No, I'll continue it later.
All right.
I originally thought it would just be like Cat in a Hat or something.
So, are we going to
and-
this Dylanta's? Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good.
If you want magical weapons, I guess so.
I mean, she had the potions. I feel like
Do we
we should
really
have
good call.
potions.
I
Good
guess.
Wouldn't we look for an apothecary in that case?
She said Dylanta specializes in healing potions.
Yeah, it's called herbs and exotic plants, which sounds like an apothecary to me. So
Oh, well, then it
let's
seems
go.
we're
It's
already
down the
right.
road.
All right, so you guys make your way. You guys make your way down the road. Easily enough, you find a building that has a very odd looking but big garden in the front that kind of wraps around to the side. It has a small glass building near the side and is very well put together and has a nice purple hue painted on the outside of the building. And as you enter in, it smells very planty and herb smelling. There's just a mix of herbs and spices and all these things just clashing and hitting you in the face. And you see this older woman. She seems to have gray running through her hair and sun bleached skin, slight wrinkles. Her ears seem to be tipped slightly. As she eyes you over some spectacles, she says, "Oh, hi, how can I help you?"
We heard you sold healing things.
"Oh, I do have a few herbs. If you're looking for something more instantaneous, I do have potions."
I think we want the potions.
"Oh, okay. I have 5.
How much for all of them? There's 5 of us, right?
Well, they're all different sizes, just so you know."
That's cool and all, but if we bought all of them, you'd give us a discount, right?
"Probably."
Did she just say probably?
I'm waiting for the price here. Like, I know
Um,
DM's doing calculations.
Dikuth steps outside and starts
um,
practicing his bagpipes.
Oh, we still have one healing potion.
Do we really?
Yeah, you have it.
Actually, I
don't.
think I have 2.
Oh my god.
21,000 gold, please.
Did she just say 21,000?
Is that what she said?
Yes.
Right. I was thinking more in the realm of like 1100.
And you actually, guys, you do look down for the first time, and you see 2 of the like normal potions of healing that you've normally come across, and then you see one bigger, slightly bigger one, or you see 3 that in order all get slightly bigger.
I take the
To the
3
point that the
small
last
ones.
one is like a decanter of this red floating liquid.
Do you have to consume them all to get benefit, or can I just like drink half of it now and half of it later?
I wouldn't recommend it.
So say like I'm really sick, I have to drink this whole potion, and he gestures to the largest one.
Yes.
Okay.
So, 21,000.
Right, what if we want like these three and I take the two small ones and the smallest of the three bigger ones?
275 gold.
That's more like it. What about this and I take the next one?
That's gonna add another 1,000.
So 1275?
Sure. You want the 4?
Do we want the four guys?
And Sith is gonna pipe up and say, Kovash, 1,500 of what you got off the horse is Jelineth's personal funds. Just a reminder. And then go
Oh,
back to reading the
I
book.
can't count that high. I'm asking the party because this is a thing we need. What do you guys want to do?
Out of curiosity, does she have other potions besides healing potions?
I do have other potions.
Guys,
Ooh.
we could trade some of our potions to bring the price down.
What potions do we have?
We have a potion of climbing, potion of flying. We're not getting the potion of flying. Potion of water breathing.
I mean, Catra said he can make me fly.
I saw a potion of fire breathing.
There's that.
Catra said he can make me fly. Catra, can you make me fly?
Yes, I can make you fly.
So we don't need a potion for that.
Potions are nice because I can only make. I mean, I can make more than one person fly, but it would be less tiresome for me if we had.
So we have a potion of climbing, potion of water breathing, and potion of flying. Potion of flying we're definitely keeping because that sounds like fun. Water breathing? Climbing.
I could see. I could see get rid of water breathing before climbing, right?
I mean, aren't we getting on a boat to go to Maztica?
Fine, you're not wrong.
So,
Hold your old horses, lady.
how rude.
So what do we want to? We definitely want the two smaller healing potions.
100%.
Wait, what were the other potions that she offered us?
I have several, but I didn't offer any.
Oh, what several others do you have?
I make for the god here. I make an oil of sharpness. So it's something you can put on your weapon, and it makes it better and stronger.
Okay.
I make well, I don't think you guys are interested in that.
Why don't you try us?
It's my potion of love.
Oh, definitely, you were right. Keep going.
Okay. I do make for someone who just we're not going to go into it. He likes to be tiny, so I have a potion that makes you tiny.
I guess that could have its uses, but keep going.
I have a potion that makes you stronger.
Ooh.
Potentially. Was that the?
Wait,
Was that
don't
it?
we have one of those too?
I
What
don't
potion
know.
do
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 we?
you?
Sith
Hill
is
Giant.
reading his book.
We got a potion of Hill Giant.
Yeah, we have one of those too.
Did Kovash use the potion of healing that I gave him?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna remove that from my.
How long does this potion that makes you stronger last?
Around an hour.
So one of those types.
I think we should definitely take the healing potions, and that we should all right take two, at least, or take the two smaller ones. I guess take the one bigger one, and then I don't think we have use for the rest of them unless you guys want to buy this oil.
I also have a potion that makes you feel more healthier for an hour as well.
So a healing potion, but with a ton.
No, it's kind of the opposite. It does it before you take damage.
Wait,
It gives you like a buffer before you're
um,
hit.
is that something that anyone sounds like they would want?
That
Otherwise, I
would
think we
be.
should.
I mean, that's cool, but I
Okay,
don't know.
so I think we should just take the three healing.
That sounds.
I think we should
I
just
was
take.
gonna say if.
Oh.
Go.
Sorry.
You go.
You know you're from Wisconsin when.
I was gonna say if anybody needs that extra buffer, it's probably you, Katra. But
I would be totally fine with not having that. You guys are doing the heavy lift, and you know that, right?
Okay, so we're taking the two
that's how
small
it's
healing
always.
potions,
The
the
smallest medium potion.
Okay. So 300.
the buffer potion.
You want the buffer potion?
Sure.
Alright.
What would our new total
That's
be?
gonna be 400.
Okay, and then how about? And I reach into my bag and I pull out the 10 cave mushrooms that I got from the cave. And how about I put this in for the
Ooh.
trade?
And she looks at
I don't
them.
know what they are.
I will give you in trade for 200 gold instead.
Guys, I also have a reddish potion that is not identified in my pack.
Isn't that the fire breathing?
No, that's in a wineskin.
Is that the hill giant one? No, hill giant one was there was a fingernail in that one.
Correct.
My notes just says a reddish potion.
So we've never identified it.
Do you know
Awesome.
at what point you got that?
It was from the It had to have been from the last dungeon because it was it's grouped with the non-orcish hand axe that was intricately designed with a large black bearded skull at the base.
Okay.
Oh, so you must have found it like right at the beginning of Kun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look. Keep going though. I apologize.
So we're at
Um,
200 right now.
I have a vial of
Yes.
antitoxin.
I can make that easily enough. Sorry, dear.
Then can we get some more vials of antitoxin?
Sure. How many
I
would
have
you
two,
like?
Katra.
Oh, you can make those too?
No, I'm saying I have two on.
Oh, then I think we're good on antitoxin then. Sorry.
No worries.
So we're gonna take those three health potions, and then the potion of buffering, and that's it. So those 4 potions, and we're trading over the mushrooms
Yep.
And 200 gold.
and
Yes.
200 gold.
Yes.
Right. Am I taking that out of here, Jeleneth, or
Yeah, take it out of that since we don't have a bag to hold things. So yeah, we'll take 200 out of that fund. So mark it as 1300 of Jelenus.
Oh right.
think that's just another healing potion, by the way.
Right. So
Katra.
who is? Yep.
The small 2d4 one.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I think the one that you have is just another potion of healing.
So
No,
we have.
it's not. Put
The suspense is killing.
right on it next to it that it has tiny bubbles of light in it. You didn't-
Tiny bubbles of light.
Yeah, you didn't put that part when I explained it, probably. Yeah, I'm still not just gonna give it to you. I'm nice, but I'm not that nice.
No,
I'll
that's
take a
fine.
look at that potion for you later.
Dope. All right.
All right. Anything else I can do for you?
I think that's it.
You can have yourself a great day, man.
You too. Bye bye, dears.
Bye.
Bye. And Catra will leave.
Sif. So as you're reading the book, basically it's just it's a story where a kitten was abandoned by his family, and then he found on his little like survival traveling through the streets, he found a wizard that takes him in, and upon an unfortunate accident where the wizard is attacked, the cat is killed, and in memory he makes the cat.
Oh.
And it
And
says in like an elegant script at the end, from mine to yours, he's yours to name.
Aw. Um. Is
Sir
can
Pouncelot.
I?
Name
Yeah,
Sir
and as soon
Pouncelot.
as you kind of read that, the book once again just forces your hands flat, and suddenly there's just this brown spotted calico cat that's gently purring, laying on the center of the book.
Or Pouncy.
Sif
Mr.
is
Pounce.
going to pet and just love on this cat while they're having their potion debate,
And
meander,
it
and all that.
it just goes crazy with the attention, purring, just and rubbing up against you and moving closer to you and just being a great old cat.
Just a giant metal man with a small little cat in
Yep.
the book. It's great.
And it seems to be still in like kitten form.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Yet amazing.
Yeah. 1 second, gentlemen. I'm gonna grab some more water.
Make sure you guys drink some water.
We're gonna call him Kovash. No, I'm just kidding. We already have a big old lovable Kovash Great Dane up here.
Call him Kovash the Stampede.
Wait. Are we really gonna go down the well, guys?
No.
We could call him Stampy.
You can send the cat down there.
No.
Let's name him Alzan.
Oh.
Too real.
That is too real, man.
So what are we doing now?
Yes, as you step out into the fancier district that you've been in for the last couple of hours now, you look around you and you guys seem kind of out of place amongst the higher nobility here. But the day is yours. What would you like to do?
Well, what else was on our docket?
Well, we're stuck here for another couple of days until Sif gets his stuff. You know, I feel like we've been in this position before.
Well, I guess we could go check like is there a bounty board or like a wanted board or like a
I mean,
job forum?
we can also go check the dock to see if there's anybody there who would know how to get to Maztica.
Oh, or we
While
could do
all
that.
this is happening, Dikuth pulls out the bagpipes and starts practicing.
Give me a
Oh
performance
man.
check.
Dikuth for the love of everybody.
Wait, do you have proficiency in performance? And are you proficient with the bagpipes?
I feel like the answer to both of these is no.
I feel the answer is for the first one is yes. He's a bard.
No, performance is no. Bagpipes,
Bagpipes, what?
no.
All right, just go ahead and roll it normal.
Oh boy.
Sif names the cat Ember.
Alrighty. And compared to the woman playing the bagpipes, this actually has a decent sound. For most people, it's still probably awful, and not pleasant. However, it does seem to have a tone and hits musically, hits all the right notes as he does play a little tune. And as he does so, he instantly goes invisible.
This is so useless.
Super useless.
And while Dikuth is invisible, he starts slowly walking.
People literally are just watching, like, because some watched it happen are just like, ugh. And then they see that you're standing in front of the tirelessly turning wheel, and they're like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And they keep on their way.
They've heard it before.
They knew.
Wait, did Dikuth go somewhere while invisible?
No, he's
And then-
just playing and walking around.
And then
Pretty
you-
much.
Oh, okay. So what are you all going to do?
I'll just need to double check. Just closing the book or trying to take the cat off the book makes the cat disappear and deactivates it, right? Believe that's what you
You
said?
can't close the book. Like, you notice that it just won't close.
Oh.
So, like, you
Whoops.
have to physically move the cat off the book.
JK LOL.
Or, like, push
Awesome.
it off.
So, alright, so then I'll go for one of the nice nuzzles and go for, like, one of the quick scoops.
And it kind of gives you, like, sad eyes as soon as its paws leave, it instantly disappears.
Sif, did you just kill a cat in public?
Sif looks torn for a moment, but closes the book and shakes his head and says, "No, Ember will be there when I return. Oh, next I open it."
Alright. Well,
Right, so we need a way
God,
to
I
get
hope.
there, right? We need a
Yep.
boat or something.
we need a boat.
I thought we
Let-
went to go charter ride. Oh, we couldn't find any the other day. Okay, chartering rides. Let's go.
I
Back to
don't
the
think we
wharf.
tried to. We chartered a boat to come here.
Yep.
No, I definitely feel like we split and went and looked at fair prices, but couldn't find one. Either way.
Alright, so you guys are making your way back to the harbor?
Yeah.
Gee, bus.
It's probably getting close to like early evening at this point.
Yeah, it's like 3-ish now. Maybe a little earlier than that. As you guys make your way to the harbor of Waterdeep. Which, at that point, it will be well past 3, probably approaching 5 o'clock dinner time sunset area. And you get to the dock ward of water, and once again, the gigantic deep water harbor that seems to take up almost the entirety southern tip of this city. Extends before you, and you see multiple ships porting harbor, coming in to the harbor and leaving the harbor. Many are docked, and several are anchored outside of the harbor as well, waiting to come in or leave or whatever it may be. And as you guys kind of approach and search through, looking for anything in who are you looking for in specific?
You're looking for the harbor master.
All right.
Kovash is looking for someone that stands out. That's not an ordinary race.
Ooh, that's like
Give me a
lot of
perception
people.
check.
That's called profiling.
Only if you plan to like oppress them and arrest them.
Hey,
Hey, nice.
What do you mean like extremely rare?
yeah, I'm talking exotic. That might be from an exotic island that no one knows about.
You do see a feline humanoid that seems to be shirtless, and he seems to be moving up and down the gangplank of a ship.
Right, I'll try to approach him while other people do things.
All right, and he goes back up, and as you get there, he starts coming back down, and he kind of looks at you, and you see the sculpted eyebrow kind of lift as he looks at you. It's hard to tell what the facial feature is, as it's covered in fur completely, but he doesn't say anything. He just waits looking at you.
You just get in.
Uh-huh.
Where you guys headed?
Nowhere yet. Captain says has to find someone.
What do you mean he has to find someone?
How you say contract.
Right, where do you guys sail from? I don't know that I've ever seen someone like you before.
I come from far, far away, but we stay here.
One more time?
Sorry. I come far away, but we stay here.
Right, me and my friends were trying to get to somewhere far away that no one's heard of. Maybe you've heard of it?
What was he called?
Maztika.
And you hear him kind of drop into a very flowing language that seems to use a couple of hisses and snarls in the language as he mutters a few sentences in it. I know. I from Chot.
You broke up for me again.
I apologize.
I mean, it's probably me.
I know. I from Chot.
Do you know someone who would be willing to take us there?
I could ask Captain.
We'd be willing to pay.
He expensive. Here,
We'll
come,
talk
come,
about it.
come.
Depending
And
on-
he-
hang on, and I motion for everyone to hurry up and get over here.
And he literally, you see him just like up the gangplank.
And I'm following him, I guess.
And you see a variety of races, mostly non-humans. Mostly, you have two dragonborns, several elves, and this Tabaxian. As he runs to the captain's quarters, he knocks, and the door opens slightly, and you hear him conversing for a few moments before the door closes, and he, like, quicker than anything you've ever seen, moves back right towards you guys, and he come. And after a few moments of waiting, you all see this. It would be well dressed if it wasn't so worn at this point and patched, probably. Extremely dark skinned man with well groomed hair and a large goatee and mustache. His brown skin is seems to match with a couple of the other elven figures on board. And he looks at you and eyes you for a moment before swaggering over and says, "Hello, how can I help you? My name is Captain Dan Mornstar."
Dikuth?
Yeah. Sorry, I missed that.
Oh, he came over and he introduced himself as Dan Mornstar and asked what he could do for you.
Is he related to the other Captain Morningstar?
I don't think so.
What other Captain Morningstar?
Wasn't the lady named Captain Morningstar?
No. Her name
Steve,
was
how?
Philander Laranthine.
Psych, JK.
Well, anyways,
As he stands there staring at you, Kovac.
I was talking to your mate there, and he said you might be willing to, for a price, take us to a place that's kind of out of the way.
And he looks at the Tabaxi and he. I mean, I'm looking for work at the moment. How far are we talking?
I look
We're-
again to Dikuth.
Mastica.
And Sif will pipe up and say, "This job would require you to take us there and perhaps wait up for us and bring us back. So this would also include the whole idea of, how do you say, partnership."
And he looks to the Tabaxi and he motions and they move over. And they begin talking between themselves for a few moments. And they come back. I mean, those are dangerous waters. I'm telling you, extremely dangerous waters. I'd be willing to do it, but as my crew member said, it would be extremely expensive.
Which is all the more reason I bring up the iconic idea of partnership, my good sir. We go seeking something that may house fortunes. Fortunes that you might guess, if we're chartering a ship, would need to make its way back. Expensive is only a turn of phrase in that case. And he'll look around to the group and kind of nudge at Dikuth and Jelenith a little bit.
Well, from what my mate tells me, I will estimate for a journey there and back, you said?
If you would be willing to wait.
2,500 gold.
I don't know if we have enough funds for that. I mean,
Low
technically
key.
we
I'm
do,
confused.
but
What happened to Kovash's 1,200?
you gave it to everybody else, so we put it in our funds.
Oh, you guys split them up. Okay, that makes sense. I was really confused for a minute there.
That's
That's
what happens when you said everyone else can just take my money.
that's a
Okay.
40
I-
day.
I definitely suggested we maybe like keep mine separate as a group fund.
I'm pretty sure yours
We
may have
did
gone
keep
into the
most
group
of it
fund.
as a group fund. That's what portions of most of what the
Oh,
silver and a lot of the other ones. But
We've been
Sif is
Yeah.
actually going to
referring
kind
to the
of
group.
Sif is going to kind of nudge and pull Dikuth off to the side for a second. Say, just one moment, sir. And
That's a 40 plus day journey, keep in
it,
mind.
yes, you're wonderful. Your offer is wonderfully noted. I just need to bring up something with
Aye,
the
go
leader
ahead.
of us merry men. And Sif's gonna kind of pull Diggins aside and say, "See if you can if you can knock the price down a little bit. Get him to consider taking a small portion now, and most of it on the way back."
Do you know, Sif? Do you know how much money we've got on us currently?
Sif's gonna
Like,
Sif's not gonna kind of look over to Kovash and Jelenith and wait for them to come over for a moment and say, "Could you two come here and help us gather the right numbers?"
right, numbers.
Oh, you haven't spent any of the silver, right, Kovash?
Right.
All right.
Technically, in group loot, we have about 1,490 gold. That's 60% down payment.
I was thinking 500 up front, and we give him what we can when we return.
Well, here's the thing. There's 5 of us, and it's 2,500, which means 500 gold from each
It,
of us. So we could do 250 each up front for the first half, and then the rest of the 250 on the second half.
or
I don't have
we could.
250 on me.
That's why
I was
possibly
gonna
push
say,
for
JK.
a hundred a piece up front, and then 400 a piece on the way back. And maybe if we need to convince it, let him get a pick of the loot. We're gonna be in there, so we're gonna have first dibs.
Ooh, pick
But
of the loot might be good. Because
bringing it in
I
and
was gonna
because but we're
say,
gonna have a lot of loot to bring back more than likely.
Full disclosure, I only
yeah.
have 138 gold left.
Hence why Sif is bringing up the idea of doing 500 up front because we also got my plate armor coming up, and we don't know exactly how much that is. I have mostly enough to cover it now. I got 540 gold total, and I might just need to borrow a little bit to finish it off or make a bargain a deal. But otherwise, we'd probably be able to swing 500 up front and help letting him get a pick of the loot.
Pick of the
Sure, I
loot's a
guess.
good deal.
Go for it, Dick, if you're the best at this kind of thing.
Most definitely Dicketh, not Sif.
Daniel?
Sure. That sounds good.
It's either
500
that.
and first pick of loot.
It's either that, or if Dikuth can inspire me to, Sif could try his hand at it.
I would rather try over Sif, but that's only because like I'm naturally beautiful.
And Sif would agree that you are much more naturally beautiful than I.
Sorry, guys, I keep forgetting about push to talk. I push past the group and I approach these gentlemen once more. Let's say I give you a counteroffer, sir. We start with 500 up front, and I, Dikuth, a professional musician and the leader of Dikuth and his band of merry men, will regale you and your crew with beautiful songs the entire way. And
Capture
then,
just starts shaking his head.
and then when we leave,
I believe you cut out.
And then when we
and
leave, the
then when we
suspense is
leave,
killing me.
and then when we leave, we will allow you, should you feel safe enough to come on shore, to take the loot. Otherwise, we can bring what we have and share with you.
I'm sorry, sir. That's honestly not enough for the dangers that we have to surpass in these waters. 500 gold does not feed my crew's belly, nor does your music. I'll tell you this. Go ahead and give me a persuasion quick check real quick.
Sif will actually also throw it in the back and say, every day I can take the time, purify some of the water, and purify some water from the ocean, and make it so that we have
That's a damn
plenty
fine
to drink. We have all the means to be able to work to work the means. We don't intend to be pandered and
But you don't
waved
see the
upon.
problem. The problem is we pay him 500 up front. We get there, and if we die not coming back, that means he's out
Exactly.
2,000 gold.
Exactly. You're putting a lot of. Do you even have evidence that there's going to be treasure wherever you're going?
We have a map.
Okay.
with a
There's
bloody
always
X on it.
treasure. There's always
Nobody draw,
yeah.
nobody draws X's on maps if there's not treasure there.
Holy crap! Well, look at that persuasion check, though. I just noticed that.
Unless they want you to go there to die.
That makes no sense. Why would they want you to die?
You've obviously not been on the waters a lot.
No? What's it like on the water?
You've never heard of fake treasure maps? People giving out different things to throw off the trail from their own treasure maps?
Every single time. No, I haven't.
Well, it is a thing. It's actually quite common.
So are you trying to dissuade us from going on our trip?
I'm
No,
trying
he's trying
to
to persuade
persuade
us
you to
to
pay
pay more.
me money.
Yeah. So
Well,
question.
sir,
And it's
allow
also
me
not
to-
that not a point of order. I need the money for supplies, food if you would like to eat. I need to keep the ships up in total perfect health. I need backup equipment for everything on the ship. I need backup equipment for our weapons and all of that. It's not just me getting paid. It's to make sure your travel is safe and not starving.
Question: is the 2,500 for there and back again?
Aye. And that's even a deal. And it's only because I have Climber here and he knows the way.
Apologies
So
if our original offer sought some disrespect in ways. We don't mean it in any way. It is a wonderful deal.
I
I do
understand.
acknowledge it.
You have to understand something though from my point. Not I have never heard of anybody that has returned from this area. I'm surprised
So everyone
Climber
keeps
got
saying,
out alive.
Does it make you feel better if we tell you one of our peoples made it out of death alive?
Or even taking the head of the Dragon Knight scale?
No, it doesn't.
Didn't think so, but sir, if 2,500 is for the cost of there and back,
Well, if you want,
where is the port? What is the more location that we would be arriving to? Is there a port city or around in that location that you would be holding up in, or would you be preferring to station
there
offshore?
are no cities there. It is not a place of civilization. I would be out in the middle of the ocean waiting for however long it is that you need to find this treasure.
Okay. We'll pay you 2,500.
I mean, excellent. He's got it taken back.
Kovash looks at Jeleneth.
Kovash, I'm gonna need 1,300 out of my loot.
Taking 1,300 out of the loot.
So with the 1,300 coming out of the loot, and then 1,200 coming off of me, that's your 2,500.
And you just start procuring this right now?
Yep.
Climber, go get my chest. And you see Climber. You see
Oh my
Climber.
god, I can move again.
You see Climber literally right back with the chest, and they start moving the gold. When would you like to leave?
Well, we have to be here for another couple of days as I look at Sif.
And Sif looks at Jonathan and says, "I said this up front previously. Do not give me that look."
2 to 3 days. Probably safer side on 3, but let's plan for 2.
All right.
Hang on, you guys want to see how much weight I'm about to lose? 163.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm down to like
130.
170 now.
I lost 14 pounds off of that. No, I lost 24 pounds off of that amount of gold.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm glad to do business with you.
How much do you even have left, Jonathan?
13 gold and 908 silver.
Once again,
boy.
I am Captain Dayan Mornstar, and the Howl of the Night and her crew is at your service.
The Night. Is that the name of your boat?
The
of the
Howl
night.
of the Night. And with that, as you guys make a deal, I think I'm going to actually call it here for the night.
Yes.
Excellent.
Oh boy.
Sounds good, guys.
Whew! Okay, my vocal cords are fried.
That character was amazing.
That old lady voice was incredible. I love.
Yeah. You caught me so off guard.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. But damn, I had to go get a.
Was that a halfling that just kept talking and
Oh
talking and
no,
talking?
no,
Or
he's
is
a
it a gnome?
gnome. Yeah, so gnomes are actually commonly known to just literally do that. All of them. Like if you get multiple gnomes in a room, some of them will keep going until they pass out because they forget to breathe.
God, don't ever put Dikuth in a room with gnomes.
Next
Alright.
time, Dikuth on the high seas.
Yeah, Dikuth and the band of merry men on the high seas. I just wanted to thank all the new people that came out to watch us tonight, and those of you who did follow us. I hope
Yeah,
you
thank you,
enjoyed the
guys.
session. Once again, I'm sorry that we decided to start during the shopping days of the Dikuth band of merry men. I assure you, it's much more action-packed and way more funny when these idiots get into trouble. So stick with us, and thank you all again. And I like to say it like I say. Love you all, and I hope to see you next time. Are we looking for Monday again, guys?
I'm good for
I
Monday.
think so.
Seems like Monday at 8 o'clock Central Time is good for all of us so far. So from us to you, good night, everybody.